Are you, sat at a dinner table and your partner's talking to you and you've got your face, you've got your phone nearby. Hello, eat, move, lift, enjoy gang. I hope all is well. Eat your food, move your body, lift your weight, enjoy your life. Babosh. At the weekend, I went to see a guy called Matt Haig be interviewed. Matt Haig is an author and he's written a couple of books which I've read. One of them is Reasons to Stay Alive and the other one is Notes on a Nervous Planet. The theme of these books is depression and anxiety. And his most recent one, Notes on a Nervous Planet, he talks a lot about social media and how that affects us, how that affects our mood, our perception of how we see ourselves, how we relate to the outside world, relationships with others, all this kind of stuff. And talking about if it's a good and a bad thing and things we can do to make our experience with social media better and how it can act as it can be detrimental, but it can also be positive. Really interesting, really nice guy as well. But one thing, there was a brief Q&A at the end and a girl asked him for like a soundbite or a take-home piece of advice of how to live a better life with social media, or how to be more responsible, I suppose, in terms of social media use. And one of the principles that he spoke about was awareness. In terms of social media, this would be being aware of how much you're on it. Are you, sat at a dinner table and your partner's talking to you and you've got your face, you've got your phone nearby, never out of arm's length, are you taking it to bed, all those kind of things, and just being aware of how much you're using it. And actually, after you finish using it, do you feel better or do you feel worse for that experience? The basic concept of awareness, not just jumping on there. Like he uses the example of jumping on Twitter and arguing with people just for the sake of it, and you feel angry, you feel anxious about it, and actually maybe getting into an argument with a random Twitter troll is not the most productive use of your time. But you have to be aware of that, you have to be aware of what's happening. And in terms of bringing it back to like diet, health and nutrition, one of the most powerful tools you can have if you embark on a diet, or if you're not happy with how you feel, or if you're not happy with how your body looks, or if you're not happy with your level of fitness, just be aware of how you've got there. And if you're going to make some changes, it's kind of knowing what you're doing wrong before you can start changing something. I'm a fan personally of people using something like MyFitnessPal, or even just writing down a food diary. And it's not because I think people should be using FitnessPal for the rest of their lives, or they should be tracking food for the rest of their lives. But I do think most people go about their day-to-day life and they're not really aware of what they're eating. Like they know, I might ask someone what they ate yesterday and they can kind of recall, I had cornflakes for breakfast, I had a sandwich for lunch, I had spag bowl for dinner. But in terms of calories, they probably won't have a clue, if anything, or they'll underestimate. In terms of like protein, carbs and fat, again, they're not going to be really sure what's going on there, probably not aware of nutrients in different foods. And I don't think that everyone needs to know every last nutrient, because I don't, and it's not realistic to know every single food. But with a piece of software or an app like FitnessPal, it gives you some insight and you can become aware. Like if you track for a couple of weeks and it's got those little percentages or those grams or something's flashing up red, it's a useful awareness tool to see if you are deficient in something. Maybe your carbohydrates are through the roof every day and you didn't really realise that. I just think being aware of that allows you to make change, or it gives you an idea of what maybe needs to change first. And to use an exercise example, if you are training and your goal is, let's say the goal is weight loss. Let's say you're training 3 days a week and you're doing an aerobics class, you're doing a strength training session, and you're doing a yoga class. Well, training 3 days a week, that's a good little mix of activities. But in terms of burning calories and aiding with weight loss, so again, I'm not talking about general health, not talking about strength, I'm not talking about all that other stuff, I'm talking about weight loss now. The cardio session or the cardio class, aerobics class, you're going to burn a decent amount there, But the strength training and the yoga, probably not too much, or nothing significant anyway. So actually maybe you look at it and you think, well, I don't want to give up the strength class or the yoga class, maybe I should add another bout of cardio in, or maybe I need to walk and increase my steps. But looking at it and assessing it and being aware of what you're doing and aware of those kind of things, it lets you make better decisions. So hat tip to Matt Haig, being aware. I think we could all do with being a bit more aware in general, and it is kind of the first step to making a change. Any questions, stick them in the box below.